I wish I just woke up. Nah, I've been up. I've been the fuck up. So what is it? Almost 3 in the morning? Y'all know why I'm here, right? First and foremost, Florida. That's how I feel about you right now. I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed as fuck. I'm not surprised. Again, I saw it. I saw the full chest caravan, flags waving in the wind, trompista ass, fascist ass, full chesters with banderas in front of their shit, Latinos for Trump. Yeah, I saw it. I did like a road trip from Atlanta to Miami. And there was this one day that we were road tripping in the middle of Florida. And there was just a whole ass caravan, man. Like a full lane full of people with their flags. And you know what's funny to me about the flags and the brigades? Is the cognitive dissonance of what that means. When people have flags and like this blind allegiance to a dictator. It's funny to me, the resemblance, you know. Or the incessant projection. That's another really good one. The incessant projection. The refusal to take accountability. The refusal to tell the fucking truth. And the truth se siente. You know, you could feel the truth. If you let your body talk to you, if you care about your connection to yourself and to your spirit and alignment, you can feel when something isn't true. I'm not drunk, by the way. I'm sober as fuck. Actually, that's a goddamn lie. I'm high as fuck. I smoked a joint. 3. It is what it is, man. Who the fuck is doing this sober? Let me know. Let me fucking know. Oy, Dios mío. And then the issue now, I'm not watching him talk because that man is not well in the mind. So I don't like to absorb his low vibrational ass frequency messaging. But I do watch what people say about it, and I do have friends who tell me about what's going on. So we're talking about it in DMs right now. And I really want to address the fascist in charge is lying to you right now. Talking about this election's over. I won. They're trying to steal this election. I won. And they will not be stealing this election. Therefore, voting is closed. And no mail-in ballots will be counted. And I'll take it to the Supreme Court. As if they didn't. Conservative ass, unqualified, piece of shit people. Brett Kavanaugh, the rapist. And fucking the misogynist, rapist, whatever you want to call him. And fucking Amy Barrett or whatever the fuck. Unqualified ass. On top of being like super anti-woman and like super weirdo, like she's literally not qualified to, especially not to be in the Supreme Court. Especially not to be in the Supreme Court. Especially not to be in the Supreme Court. Let me say it again. Alright? Cristo Rey. We're gonna go. He said, Trump. American flag, Baldy go. Woo! Yeah, fascista. You're a fascist. you know? Yeah. You're a fascist. I'm talking to you directly, my love. Look it up. Look it up. Look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. Look at your own history. Look it up. Look it up. You still got Google, still free. Go. Before it's too late. Before you have to read books. Before they burn the books. They're already banning books. They're already fucking banning books, bro. They've been banning books, but... Do you guys know the telltale signs of fascism? It's just wild, guys. It's just wild that we're even having these combos. But you know what? This to me is a direct reflection of divestment from education in this country. For years. Investment into industry for mass profit in this country. Investment into lobbyists via other political candidates. This is a slowly but surely buildup that got into the hands of a businessman, and not even a good one. Not even a good CEO. Not even one who's smart. Not even one who has an educated mind. We picked a dumb one. We picked a racist one. We picked a straight up misogynist who may or may not also be a rapist. Is definitely a rapist. A con man who pays $750 in taxes. Undocumented folks pay more than the current president in taxes. But that's fake news. Because it doesn't, because he said it's fake news. Oye, tú tienes un cerebro. You've got a brain in your body. You also have a heart in your body. I know some of y'all don't feel like you have one. I know a lot of y'all don't act like you have one. Especially on this godforsaken internet. Bitches are so brave on these interwebs. So brave to say the most horrendous shit to each other. This is like a fucking Black Mirror episode that has come to life in our faces. How ignorant can the populace be? Voting for their own totalitarian dictator. Dictator. And I said this earlier, and I've been saying it nonstop. He is a fascist. He has been a fascist. Corporate greed over public interest, period. Profit over people, period. Industry over people. Industry over the environment. Industry over everything. Who cares if we're dying? Who cares if they're dying? Who cares? 200,000 people is nothing. Not counting the millions more that have been injured, right? Or don't have health insurance now, or don't have a job now. With no relief for anyone besides the billionaires. The saddest part to me are the poor or middle class folks who think that this man is their champion. I feel really, really bad for y'all. Because you're the ones that are going to get hit the hardest by what's about to come, unfortunately. Because these rich men, they don't care about our civil wars and our divisiveness. Us being divided is their, like, dream. That's their wet dream. For all of us to hate each other instead of them. That's their literal wet dream. They're like, oh my God, how can I divide? What can I do today to divide? What can I do today to eat their minds, right? Because that's what this is. This is a game. This is a spiritual warfare, honey. This is a mental warfare. We don't even need battlegrounds anymore, you know? We got Twitter fingers. But then people do some crazy shit in real life. And I'm nervous regardless of the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, even though the fascist in charge has said that he's not going to count any more votes and he won, period, end of story, all right? That is unconstitutional. So anybody calling themselves a conservative, LOL. But second of all, it's not true. It is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. Most of the things that come out of that man's mouth are lies. And what's wild to me is that the fan base eats it up. They're like, anytime you give a fact of truth, fake news. You're just a liberal. Snowflake. And people are like, oh, we love a Democrat queen, right? I just saw that. I'm not even a real Democrat. I don't believe in establishment politics. I said it. I said it. I don't think Joe Biden is our fucking savior. At all. I don't think Kamala Harris is our savior. At all. Would I rather push a centrist than a fascist? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If those are our only options, since we're not living in a democracy. This is not by the people for the people, in case y'all haven't noticed. Also, like, white experience in America is like its own thing. Everybody else experience in America is a very different thing. Even if you have the layers of Latinidad, you know? If you're white, like me, it's different. And most of the people right now who are feeling surprised by what's going on lean more towards that side. You know what I'm saying? Like, this has been a lived experience for indigenous folks since they landed on Turtle Island and stripped them of their rights and murdered their people and took their children away and put them in boarding schools and retrained them and, you know what I'm saying? Like, took away all of their culture from them or put them on a reservation or in a food desert area or, you know, violated treaties and intoxicated more water. Dakota Access Pipeline, hello. You know, it's been a very much reality for them for a minute. For all the Latinos that didn't come here, quote unquote, with privilege or legally, a lot of us are in cages. A lot of us have been separated from our children. A lot of us have been displaced. How can you support socialism when Cuba is socialist? Just genuinely asking. Baby. Here's the huge thing for me. When we talk about the history of colonization, of imperialism, it really, really starts, I think, with the Roman Empire, maybe. Right? And you had all the Catholics who went on their missions and crusades and literally murdered people to become Catholics or tortured them. I learned all about the torture devices in religion class in 7th grade. Crazy torture devices, by the way, in order to force people to convert. I'm talking European, by the way, imperialism. So then you have the Roman Empire, and then that expands. That was a dictator, by the way. A lot of dictators. Supreme rule, soldiers taking over places, displacing human beings, eradicating indigenous practice and connection to spirit and land. And then they did that over and over and over and over again. Genocide, reindoctrination, rape and pillage. So let's do that. And so the Spanish sent over some hijo de puta named Christopher Columbus. And then we had slavery everywhere. And slavery is not like a new thing. It's been around for a long time in human history. The conquering of humans and the wiping out of humans and the reestablishing of humans, it's been happening for a minute. That's why refugees are not new. They're displaced human beings displaced because of war. And when you have populaces that are comprised of the mezcla that causes, right? So that causes colonizers mixing with indigenous blood, mixing with African blood, mixing with all kinds of people, not because they wanted to, but because they were forced and they were colonized, right? So then you have populaces that have continued to be conquered by rich people. Rich people who are denied healthcare, who are denied education, who are denied access to resources over and over again throughout the years. And let's talk about America, right? That's a global perspective, right? And how I can support socialism. Socialism has yet to be practiced properly. Communism has yet to be practiced properly. Again, theory versus practice, right? Most of these political theories that have been used throughout the centuries by fucking men for these 1,000 years that the patriarchy has been in ruling, okay? They're not doing things for the people. They are doing things in the common interest of their pockets. They want more money. They want more natural resource access. If they don't have it on their own land, they go find it on other land. They displace people, kill people for those resources. The problem now is that we're reaching a point where the resources are running out. And Gaia's upset. And our recklessness and inability to connect with our true selves, right? Which are light beings, which are 100% in oneness and connection to not only each other, but to the land that we're on this planet. Gaia is a living, breathing planet, right? We poison our water. We poison our soil. We poison our children. Mentally, emotionally. We have residual colonizers in our minds. And that colonizer in our minds is who's trying to convince us that someone like Trump has any person's interest at heart besides his own. Any person, even his buddies. And that is the fucking dissonance. Is that we can't get over the fact. We don't have the critical thinking skills necessary in the United States of America. We are not taught the critical thinking skills necessary to sift through the amount of bullshit and propaganda we are fed on a regular basis via the media. All forms of media. They're owned by the same motherfuckers. So we have our brains being eaten up alive by lies. We're too full of unresolved trauma and junk food and old shit in our bodies. Literally, our colons are back the fuck up. We're too diseased physically and mentally to recognize light, to associate with light, to choose light, to choose the possibility of a future that does not include oppressing people. To not be able to envision a future where people don't have to suffer to be alive. They don't have to. People don't have to earn their existence. They exist. They're here. You know, it's funny because even people with religious rhetoric who push these agendas, I'm like, who is your God? What God do you worship who is cool with us destroying the planet that they created, with us destroying other people that they created? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know, we talk about God doesn't make mistakes, right? So how the fuck? Who gave you the authority to say how people need to present or not in this world? Because the thing is, like, these deep battles are really with ourselves, are really with our own hearts and our own minds. All of these Trump supporters, you know, and even beyond that, like, it's not even about just Trump. Trump is a symptom of the issues. Trump is a textbook American billionaire. Got it from his daddy, loaned it. Oh, only got a loan of $1 billion. Like, my dude, I never saw $1 million. Like, I grew up low middle class. Like, I got lucky that I got the education that I did. I got lucky that I was born with this skin and able to navigate this country the way that I have been able to navigate this country. I am blessed and privileged. But $1 million, and then you can't even make a successful business off of that. Filed for bankruptcy, I don't know how many times. Like, y'all didn't even choose a good businessman. That's what I'm saying. It's like Mike Bloomberg could have been a better choice if you want a businessman in charge, right? I don't know. Andrew Yang could have been a better choice if you want a businessman in charge. Like, I'm not that high. Relax. This is me 24/7. I'm fucking perfectly fine mentally. Let me tell you. Perfectly fine. Present. Alert. And back to my point about the imperialism. All of these motherfuckers who are in charge, whether it's Castro, whether it's Putin, whether it's fucking Mao Zedong, whether it's, who else? Kim Jong-un, whether it's fucking, literally, actually, we can name almost every, Bolsonaro, or Bolsonaro, whatever the fuck his name is in Brazil. You know, all of these men